system as well, we also integrate with your SMSs, right? So in your phones, whenever you get an SMS from your bank that this is the amount of money that you have spent, our system can, with your permission, it can take down that value and it can create an expense for you of that value itself, right? Just like how you see now you're able to enter OTPs without even having to go back to the SMS, right? Pretty much relevant. So in this entire perspective, we have also integrated with Uber for Business, right? It's a global integration that we have done, wherein whenever you take an Uber ride, the receipt would automatically come onto the Happay platform, right? We also integrate with your travel agents so that your company booked travel can also be incorporated into one single system, right? So all in all, for the employee, it is a very less painful activity because, you know, filing expenses is not a productive task, right? Let's be honest. Filing expenses was never productive for anyone. No company gained any revenue by filing expenses, right? So this is a highly unproductive task, and let technology handle it for you, right? Then we talk about the input tax credit for your GST claims. We basically handle all your GST-related claims. Largely, you know, in travel, there are two major types of expenses which are GST claimable. One is your airline-related spends, and the second is your hotel-related spends, right? And largely also, you know, in the market, we have seen that for organizations who have a lot of travel, a lot of airline travel, the amount of bills that come in your mailbox from the airlines is so much that people don't even want to spend that much amount of time to download them and put the data to take the input tax credit, right? And in this way, they were actually leaving a lot of money on the table, right? It's basically money on the table that you're leaving for yourself. So this is where we help you in automating this activity. We have a program through which whatever invoices that you receive from the airlines, we're able to automatically integrate that into the system with just a click of a button, right? You just press a button and all the data from your mailbox of all the airline receipts will get transformed into an Excel sheet, also telling you whether GST input is available or not against it, whether the invoice has been uploaded or not. And it is so easy for you to take input tax credit on the airline invoices, right? Likewise, for hotel invoices also, we have a solution where your employees can claim their hotel-related bills also through the platform, right? So, you know, all these problems that I'm actually talking about and what we actually built over a period of time, this is from learning from the pain points of the industry, right? And I'm sure a lot of you sitting over here would actually relate to these pain points in your organizations as well. So, fourth of all, we have another solution wherein we use image recognition technology to actually identify duplicate bills and also to identify some blacklisted items in your bills itself, right? So you can consider it as a person, as an auditor actually sitting inside your system and looking for these invoices. So we call it smart audit, right? So this is how, you know, in case of audit also you would agree it's mostly spot audit, right? You basically take a set of cases and then you audit a couple of bills, right? But the accuracy of that is, again, you all know it is based on the spot audit, right? But with the system can actually identify what receipt was uploaded, and if the same receipt is found anywhere in the system, even by any other employee, the system will give you a pop-up, right? It can also help you identify cases where employees are trying to for any kind of an alcohol also in their bills, right? So it can identify these items within your bill itself, right? So all in all, it is very important, right, for an organization because a lot of bleeding happens in terms of such frauds or such controls which cannot be manually found out, right? And this is where, you know, the benefit of technology comes into the picture. When I say that multiple solutions can be actually integrated together, right? We cannot run alone as a system, especially expense management, right? We have to be talking to the ERP solution. We have to be talking to the HR management system as well. And this is how, you know, all the systems today, you must agree that today there are so many fragmented systems that you may have, right? That is called semi-automation, right? You may have implemented some systems in the past, right? So you may be having a booking tool of a TMC, right, of a travel management company. You may be using an expense management tool also. You may be using an HRMS solution. You may be using an ERP also, right? So all the data that is coming from all these different sources would never give you the total cost of a trip in one single click. right? You have to collect the data from so many systems, so many disjointed systems, and then derive your final trip cost. But here, in a single system, we integrate with all your solutions, and we give you a single trip cost in front of your eyes, right? So this is how the data is so helpful for you. And it's not only about going digital. It's not about automating the process. It is about deriving value from it, right? I would agree, I'm sure all of you would agree to that, right? And this is how we come to data-driven analytics, right? So whenever, you would agree that there are so many cases where there are policy violations, where there are frauds happening, where there are leakages happening. And all these things cannot be controlled, these cannot be found out without having an insightful data, right? The data which is able to give you value, which is able to give you insights, and you are able to take decisions basis data, right? So this is how, even in our solution, we have a very advanced analytics module, wherein we are able to give you, compare all the data elements all together in one system, and we are able to present it together to you in one single screen, right? And this is helpful for a lot of organizations. So a lot of organizations that we worked with in the past, they have been able to derive a lot of value out of this data, right? So especially, I'll give you an example, right? So there was this professional services company, which is also one of the big fours. So over a period of time, they were using our system, and their employees used to claim their bus-related expenses also, right? Employees who were traveling by bus, they also used to claim it. As a company, they never tied up with any bus provider, considering that it is a small expenditure, right? But over a period of time, when they actually saw from the system that the amount of money that was spent on bus tickets is so much, and all of that is being spent by the employees, that they actually decided to tie up with a company like Redbus, right? So they did a corporate tie-up, and with that, they were able to actually bring down the cost by at least 30%, right? So they were able to negotiate the rates better, they were able to get corporate deals, and they were also able to get better benefits that a retail customer would any day get, right? So this is how, a very small example of how data can benefit you in terms of taking informed decisions, right? And also, data can give you, with the help of pattern analysis, you will be able to project what is your need and demand in terms of your expenditure, right, for your travel expenses. Now, when we talk about integration, right, I think I've spoken it about so many times in the past couple of minutes, that integration is the key to make any system successful in today's market, right? If you're able to integrate with the entire enterprise ecosystem, the system will be able to give you maximum value, right? So this is where, whenever you are evaluating any solution, you should always look at the capability to integrate with multiple systems, right? Be it your HR management system, be it your ERP solution, or be it your Salesforce or your CRM solutions, right? It is very important, because when data talks to data, it will give you wonders, and that's where the magic happens, right? And talking about, the most important aspect for an employee, right? So, you all must have seen that in the past so many years, there have been so many applications, right? Be it Oracle, be it SAP, be it any other system, right? But technically, business applications are always very cumbersome and very, old and very boring to look at, right? Now, when you're dealing with a millennial workforce, right? A millennial workforce which is used to smartphones, which is used to using smart applications, the user interface is very, very important for them. And whenever you are launching any new application today, the adoption is of greater benefit. Till the time the application is not adopted, it will not give you the desired benefits, right? You will struggle in change management, and you will not be able to implement it or let your users adopt it. So it's always good to go for applications which have a good user interface, and through which your employees feel more friendly to use the application, right? So this is how, in fact, we also did a very, very massive transformation in our application, where we also realized from a lot of companies that user interface is of key importance when you talk about change management. And out of my experience, companies who were able to adopt this, they were able to undergo the change management process in less than 3 months in their organization, right? Whereas companies who never laid stress on user experience were not able to undergo the change management process even in a year's time, right? So it's about controls, it's about saving money, but it is also about making sure that your end customer or your employees are happy, right? So this is what this entire proposition is all about, right? These are some very small secrets, or I would say some small magic spells that we always call to our customers that we have always learned from the industry, and I felt happy sharing it with all of you here. So that's about it, and we have our stall outside, so you can always visit us, and you can let us know if you need anything from us and you need any advice from us. We're happy to provide you. Any questions?